Hey there, I'm live. I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about Facilitation Week. And here we are in the beginning. This is like day two of Facilitation Week. And at Voltage Control, we are we have a Mural 101 workshop tomorrow. And anyone watching this live stream that wants to um, get a special deal, reach out because we're gonna let some folks in for free, and we're gonna give some pretty awesome discounts for Facilitation Week because we believe that more people need to have these skills and to better facilitate meetings. So definitely reach out if you are catching this video and want to get in on the session tomorrow. Um, it's going to be informative. We're going to go over all the basics of Mural, how to add stickies, how to onboard your meeting participants so that they'll be better prepared to use the tool. Because that's one of the things we have to remember as facilitator. Not everyone is at the same space, and this is something that we've worked very closely with on uh, this notion that learning experience design and workshops share a very tight relationship. And if we're not conscious of the fact that our participants are essentially learners, then we can really miss out on a big opportunity to provide a better experience for them. So in the work I've done with Eric Skogsberg, we've really explored this intersection of the participant and the learner. So that's another element to think about for Facilitation Week is how, as a facilitator, we are truly holding space for our participants. And often, when I see a lot of new facilitators or even folks that have been doing it for a little while that haven't gone deep into the practice, one thing I notice is that there's kind of a phenomenon to be obsessed with the methods, or especially to be enthralled by the framework that you may first learned about. So there's kind of this moment of epiphany for a lot of folks that get into facilitation, which is wow, this is really powerful. The world could be totally different, and I can't wait to explore this further. And it's very exciting. But the thing I don't see them realizing in that moment is this need to step out and think about the broader picture and the different dynamics that are at play. Because maybe you learned about facilitation through design thinking, or maybe you learned about it through liberating structures, or even through the agile. Maybe you're a scrum master and you found out about um, how to have meetings in a completely different way. And I think it's important to just take a step back, and that's what our conference is all about. We are having the conference virtually this year. Really excited about that. So, if you're interested in speaking, the call for presentations is still open. We have a community of facilitators as well, and that, I think, is the purpose of that is just a weekly opportunity to come together to practice, to explore new ways of facilitating, and especially in this virtual, remote, and potentially soon to be even more hybrid worlds we find ourselves in, giving people an opportunity to explore, practice, and experiment with what works is really what those Thursdays are all about. And of course, you can find out more about the free Thursday community events on voltagecontrol.com/events, or you could go onto the events page and find the summit as well. And the summit page is actually controltheroom.com/summit. And please do come and submit your proposals, because we want to have a truly diverse set of um, perspectives. And as I was saying earlier, facilitation takes on so many different forms. There's so many mindsets and approaches and ways to explore bringing people together to get work done that I think as great practitioners, we should stay really curious about all the ways that people are approaching this and think about how we weave them together into our unique combinations and really turn it into something that we can call our own, our creative combinations of the various elements and the various methodologies and frameworks out there. And so that's really what the conference is all about. And so if you have some unique perspective, or if you have an approach that you don't think enough people are paying attention to, that's what we really want. We're really excited about bringing more of this to light and leveling up the conversation so that we can all become more effective practitioners and learn from each other. And so just wanted to really highlight the importance of facilitation, why why I think it's important, and really kind of just celebrate Facilitation Week. So again, let's talk about some of my favorite elements of facilitation. So whether it's providing a unbiased perspective, helping move the group forward. In fact, it's interesting. There's this notion that the facilitator is the rudder, not the motor, and totally agree with that. But I want to nuance that metaphor a little bit more, because if we were literally, a rudder by itself is purely just a piece of wood in the water, and there's an opportunity for a facilitator to create space. So what I mean by that is, let's say that something uncomfortable in the room is starting to develop, and a facilitator's job is to notice that, to name it, point it out, and expose the opportunity for people to speak up and people to feel comfortable speaking up. And so I was recently speaking with a colleague, and was thinking about this almost from the perspective of the bellows. There's a fire, and it's kind of somewhat active, and the bellows is the thing that kind of concentrates a little bit of focus and a little bit of energy, this little extra oxygen in that fire, and makes it really thrive. And I think the facilitator can sprinkle things in like that. But remember, the oxygen is the thing that's actually causing the fire to be more effective. And the bellows is just a conduit for that oxygen. And so a facilitator, very similar. They don't have to necessarily have the ideas. They can just be a conduit. They can help draw out the inspiration from the team. I like to refer to it as harvesting the room intelligence. So how do we collectively bring together all of this amazing stuff that's happening in the room? And the facilitator, his job is to do that, and have a plan ahead of time of how to make that easy. And I'll come back to that, make easy, because that's one of my favorite definitions of a facilitator, is to make easy, to come in and to make sure that things are accounted for, and we don't have to fret about how we might approach things. And we're definitely not going to be hitting our heads on the wall. We're not going to be running into roadblocks, because this person has thought out how we're going to make decisions, how we're going to structure the conversation, how information might flow. But then in the moment when it's happening, they are allowing the team to be the best they can be. And if we can step out of the way, if we can find magical ways to structure the conversation so that we can eliminate ourselves and our impact, so that the team can truly be the spotlight and the heroes, that's the magical sauce. That is when a facilitator is truly shining and being the best they can be. And so I encourage you to think a bit about the impact facilitation can make, how you can better facilitate your meetings. Consider bringing in a professional facilitator when the time is right. And come check out our our conference, our weekly facilitation practice, and of course, we've got plenty of training available on a recurring basis. So I just wanted to take a moment to just acknowledge Facilitation Week, point out why facilitation is so important, and thanks for listening in. And we'll see you again sometime down the road.